Smile.
Key, now that you've had most of training camp to see him in action, what have your impressions been of how much Max Clare has grown?
Yeah, I'm super impressed with how he's been willing to get coached and to try new techniques and to try new things, and that's really why he came to Ohio State, to get uncomfortable, and that's when you develop the most. So yeah, I've been super impressed with his willingness to, like I just said, put himself in hard situations and developed. And yeah, he's certainly gotten better.
You guys have quite a few guys who can block really well. I guess Max didn't have to go somewhere where he had to learn to block. He's a good receiver. For him to come in and want to learn to block and want to get better in that regard, what does that say about him?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about him and also about our standard in this room. And I tell these recruits too that, they ask about the targets and this, and I said we had arguably the best receiving tight end in the country, could have gone anywhere, and he came here. And the reason you come here is to be the best, not to be the best route running tight end or to be the best run blocking, to be the best tight end in the country, period. And that's the expectation. So that's why he came here, to be developed and to be the best tight end in the country. And that's why everyone else in the room came here, to be the best tight end in the country.
Keenan, did you settle on a message or mentality for this room?
I'm going to keep that one, Austin, in-house. But yeah, no, I certainly love the culture of our room. The leadership is incredible. This is probably the tightest knit tight end room since I've been here. I just love my guys so much. But yeah, we definitely have a culture. I'll kind of keep that to them.
Keenan, how much has Max improved as a blocker?
Yeah, he's improved in all facets. I think he's improved as a blocker for sure, and even as a route runner and as a leader, and in all facets.
How good a receiver is he?
He's a good receiver. He's certainly super athletic, and his skill set is unique. He's got good spatial awareness, really good, hands and quickness, and yeah, he's a good receiver.
Are you talking about Jelani right there? Are you talking about Jelani?
Max.
Oh, Max. Okay.
Keenan, what kind of role do you think Jelani could play in your run this year?
Yeah, I think he could play a big role, and that's the expectation. Everyone in our room, we got a handful of guys, Dan, that could really help our team. So whatever we ask him to do, I expect him to go out and execute. I don't want to put expectations on anyone in our room, but whatever we ask him to do, I'm sure they're going to go out and train to do it.
With the depth you guys have there, how much are you looking at finding distinct roles for guys versus wanting everybody to kind of be able to fill in?
No, that's a good question. I think it's a balance, right? Like I just said, they came here to be the best tight end in the country. And if you play tight end in our room, you better be able to block the ends in the run game, in the pass protecting game, and then on third down, you better be able to get open against man-to-man coverage, against great DBs. So everyone's got to do everything. With that said, the job of a coach is we got to put our guys in the best, position to execute what they could do. So with the skill set of our room, we could be super versatile.
What has kept Jelani from being a regular kind of guy in the lineup?
What do you mean?
Meaning, what has he gotten better at this year that could make him more comfortable to the offense he brings?
Yeah, I think this is his third year now in the offense. So Timmy certainly understands the offense more. He's gotten bigger and stronger. Like him in the offseason has improved. But no, he's steadily increased his game, and his talents is kind of matching up now with his technique, which is going to be fun to watch.
So how do you differentiate between these guys? Ryan Day said he thinks it's the deepest room he's seen here for tight ends since he's been here and stuff. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, certainly. And you just look at the room. We've got guys that have played in big moments, a lot of them. There's right now, I don't want to put an exact number on it, but there's a handful of guys that I could feel very comfortable just go out and play the game, right? And I don't want to say I don't care who's in there, but really, I trust. I have a good handful of guys that go out and they could roll.
Keenan, when you have a group that's 4 or 5 deep like you do right now, there's a lot of schools in the country that want one good tight end. What is the room like with them together, and how have you been able to kind of navigate? I'm not saying there's egos in the room, but navigate personalities and trying to keep guys in.
No, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And I think it says a lot about the leadership in the room when we add people, but also the guys who decide to look at this room that was full of guys and say, I want to be a part of that. And I feel bad for those coaches that you said, Cam, want one good tight end. I want 3, 4, 5 of them, right? I got 6 seats in the room, and they all need to play. And I firmly expect a lot of those guys to play.
How does it work with you're working with 2 new tackles? What is that dynamic like with the tight ends?
Yeah, whether it be new tackles, new quarterbacks, new coaches or whatnot, we've got to be the steady piece. There can never be a question mark at tight end. In the pass game, we got to be dependable to catch the ball and to be, to get open. And in the run game, whatever my gap is, I got to eliminate that defender. So we got to be dependable for the tackles, the coaches, the quarterbacks, everybody.
Keenan, I know you were impressed with Nate in the spring.
Certainly.
Has he elevated since then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
See him having as a role in
Yeah, Nate's going to help us win games this year. I'm not shying away from that. I mean, he came in super ready, and I know everybody says that tight ends you can't play early. I disagree. I mean, if I could, project it, this would be the perfect example of a guy who we identified super early. We thought he had the skill set, what we wanted, the culture definitely. When we convinced him to be a Buckeye, we got to work on developing then. And huge credit to Coach Beller and those guys in Washington and his family. They were all in on developing him, so when he got here, he's ready. And I'm talking learning the playbook, the strength program with Coach Mick. He came in, super ready. And then spring, he had a good one. And then in the summer, he was a goal guy in the weight room. And now he's out here making plays. I mean, Nate's going to help us win football games, and we're not waiting around for that.
What stands out about Will, and how has he grown since last year? Will Kazmarek, I know you called him like the best blocking tight end in the country. How has he grown since last year, and what do you expect out of Will?
Yeah, I think what we saw this summer was his leadership come out. Like he was a guy who came in here and didn't say much, but he set the tone. How rugged he plays. I mean, every snap. I mean, this guy goes 4 to 6 A to B. So now we challenge him. It's not okay just for 89 to do that. Everyone else has got to do it around you. So he's really grown as a leader, definitely as a receiver and a route runner. Super excited to see what's up for Kaz.
Coach Day spoke glowingly at Big Ten Media Days about Bennett Christian, the way he's grown as a leader for this team. How much with Julian specifically was he kind of able to develop some chemistry, some kind of comfortability, I guess, with tendencies? Like how close are those two guys in terms of the refs able to get together last year?
Between Bennett and Julian, you're saying? Yeah, I mean that was the touchdown, right, against Western. Yeah, that looks sweet. No, I don't know if he had a better chemistry with Julian or Link or whatnot, but I mean just me speaking on Bennett. I mean he's grown so much, and he's such a veteran guy. He's been through some trials here, and he'll be the first one to say that. And I think that that strengthens you, right? He was out for a year practicing against the best, and that really took his development to the next level. He had an awesome fall camp. And again, he's another guy he's the leader of my unit. He's been in that room the longest. He's vocal. He's kind of that veteran figure helping the guys, and super proud to coach him.
Keenan, obviously,
Mick?
you don't focus on the actual season, but how much does having Max or even using Nate as a freshman, just all the guys you have in the room, how does that help your recruiting pitch when you go out to going forward in the next couple classes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I pitch much, right? Hopefully these are good examples, right? You got a guy who was the number one receiving tight end, and he chose us. Why? Ask him. I don't know. If I have a tight end I want, I'll give him Max's number. Ask him why, right? Hopefully because of the relationship I have with him. You mentioned Nate. I don't know if a coach got closer to a high school kid and in last year's cycle, and that's a kid that now he comes in and I don't have to build that relationship. I could coach him so hard off the bat, and hopefully he makes plays this season, and we can point to that. So certainly there, but yeah, no, all eyes on the season.
Have you noticed that shift on the recruiting trail, though, as you develop the room that you developed over the last couple of years here, and how people view being an Ohio State tight end versus where it was 10 years ago when they came here and just it feels like they're a little bit more of a
Sure. No, I know what you're saying. I think really with my first year it was Stove, and he was a Mackey finalist. So right off the bat, I could say, he was second on the team in receptions and targets and all that. And come here, you could be like Stove. But now you're right. I have a couple years now. Hey, turn on the CFP, and we're in 14 personnel. So now it's not just this could happen. It's happening. Just, and all these other cheap narratives that we don't use tight ends or we're not a tight end school. I don't even know what that is. Just turn on your TV. We're in the national championship game with 4 of them on the field. So I got to fight that a little bit. But I think the ones that are in it for the right things in recruiting and not the fluff, see the message and see what we're doing here and are going to be excited to be Buckeyes.
Keenan, when you're here, since deep as it is, how often in meeting rooms when you draw stuff up or just talk about things, you just like, that's a cool idea, but what do we do with 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends? Like,
Yeah.
hit the lobby when you have so much talent to use to make sure that your guys are, like an equal part of that operation.
Yeah. I mean, half jokingly, I'll say that to heart just because we're so close. Like, we could do that in 13 or 14, we got the guys to do it. But no, on a serious note, my guys are competing against not only guys in the room, but also against the receivers and the running backs. And like last year, we're in the Rose Bowl, we had 2 running backs in the game. Then we go against Notre Dame, we have 4 tight ends in the game. So you come to Ohio State and it's not just coach speak. We're going to put the best players on the field. Like that's just what we've done around here. So if my guys earn that, then certainly there could be a package of 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, maybe 4 tight ends on the field at the same time. And I'll be fighting for it. Heck yeah.
You've been around football for a long time, but you spent a significant amount of time around Ryan Day for the last 8 years.
Oh yeah,
9 years.
almost a decade.
Yeah. How does that impact the way you view football?
Yeah, I mean, you can't understate it at all. Like he is what I've learned about football. He taught me. I know he's everybody's boss, but I mean, I was his GA, and I could coach another 5 decades, and I'll probably always still be his GA kind of thing. Like, everything I've learned, he taught me. And the same thing with Coach Hart. Hart and I have been together for almost a decade now, so we see the game the same because we've had a decade of me learning from it, from them.
Experience for you being around him. A lot of people ask us, how have you seen Ryan change since the national championship? How have you seen Ryan this offseason? Maybe in any way has he been a little different now that he has a national championship?
I don't know if he's changed so much because it is a new season and he'll be the first one to say that. But no, I think he's, at least what I've felt, I mean, he's developing the staff just like he's developing the players. It's not all about he's making us better coaches. And I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or maybe we've just had some learning opportunities where he could coach us up on. But no, he's the best boss in the country and love working for him.
Does that make, again, almost a decade together, does that make up for, I think some people look at offensive coaching staff as kind of super young, but you guys aren't necessarily new to each other and how you guys operate, how you guys think?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Like they'll say myself and Fess and Coach Hart are all young guys. Well, shoot, we've been together coaching for, like you just said, almost a decade. And I think that, you look around these other staffs and they've been together for 6 months. Well, when it gets really hard, like what do you have to lean on? We've got shared experiences. I mean, even off the field, I feel like people sometimes forget. Like I've been with Hart and Coach Day every day for a decade, barring the month of July. Like Coach Hart walked in the hospital when I had my son, and I was there when he had his first kid. Like these shared experiences, it's deeper than football. So we could have these real conversations, and there's no feelings getting hurt in that room. There's some conversations that are real, but no, we're super tight, and I think that's a strength, like you just said. People say a weakness of youth. No, that's a strength. We lean on that. Anything else, guys? Appreciate you guys so much. See you guys.